Yo, what is good everybody? Welcome back to another video on Jujutsu Infinite, and today we're going to be making a macro in the game in order for us to get whatever we want. Whatever items we need to get, the rare items, these special grades, the uniques, the domain shards, the maximum scrolls, the petrified hands, whatever it is that you want to get in the game. This macro will help you when you're AFK, when you're asleep, when you're doing homework, when you're doing whatever. Just let it run and then you'll get it soon enough. With that being said, before we get started, as always, if you guys have any questions or you want to leave a comment down below, do it down there. And while you are down there, please like, subscribe, and turn on the noties because it's all free and it helps me out a ton. Now with that being said, let's go ahead and start off with some of the requirements that I recommend you having before making this macro. So the first thing that I require, can you stop getting chests? God damn, so loud. But yeah, the first requirement that I want you guys to have is of course Tiny Task. This is the app that'll allow you to record your movements and your keys. So I'll leave the link in the description if you need a tutorial. Search up a tutorial. It's honestly really easy to use. But once you have that, the next thing that I want you guys to have is of course to be max level. Being max level will allow you to put a lot of stats into whatever build you're doing. I recommend doing a boss rush build that has like maybe rib breakers so you could do more damage to them when you apply fragile, things like that. If you want me to go in depth with my build, go ahead and leave a comment down below, but this is what it looks like. Cloak of Inferno, Demonic Robe, Eyes of Bloodthirst, Soul Stitch Pants, Rotten Ring, and then the Winter Bell for a little bit of defense debuffs. And then the last thing that I recommend is to have good innate techniques. Whether you have 2, 3, 4 slots, all you really need to have is good AoE PvE innate techniques. If you want to know the PvE list, I'll put it up on the screen. This is my opinion, and I also have it in the description if you want to check it out for yourself. But basically, any innate technique that has huge AoE, like Curse Queen, Akari's Gamblers, Infinity, Demon Vessel, Star Rage, so basically most of the special grades, try to get those and you should be good to go. Now, what I'm going to use for this one is I'm going to use Curse Queen, Infinity, and Demon Vessel for the mode. So that's my build. And with that being said, let's go ahead and head on over to the bosses. Now, we're going to do two variants, two bosses. We're going to do Finger Bearer, and then we're going to do Dagon. So keep that in mind. All right, let's go ahead and pick Finger Bearer. And like I said, I recommend using these two bosses just because they're the easiest one and they don't have a lot of moves that put them into iframes and really would ruin your run. So I'm going to do Finger Bearer for the first one. I'm going to do Nightmare. You could choose whatever difficulty you can do. And then I'm going to choose level 195 to increase the rarity rate for all these drops. And then we should be good to go. Okay, so here we are. Now, I'm going to give you guys a couple of tips before we start. When you start the macro, you can pop your mode. If you have a Demon Vessel, go ahead and do that. If you want to be a little risky, you can do slash buff in order to give you more damage. But for me right now, I have enough damage. And if your macro breaks, you might just be sitting in a corner doing slash buff, using up all your potions. So if you don't want to risk it, I don't recommend doing it. But if you think you're consistent enough for the macro to not break, then go ahead and do it. Now, the other thing that you can do once the macro starts is go to your inventory and pop a Withered Beckoning Cat, because those are the ones that you probably have the most of in order to give you more luck. But for me, I'm not going to do that as of right now because you need to use 10 chests in order for it to actually run out. So you're basically just wasting the luck boost, because if you use it every other run, you're only using it for 4 chests. But does that matter with 999 Withered Beckoning Cats? It depends, up to you. Now, another tip is that if you don't have Hollow Purple or any type of iframe attack damage ability, then you want to run back once he spawns. Because when he spawns, he has this scream that basically puts him into iframes and does a ton of damage. And Hollow Purple puts you out of that damage. With that being said, we're going to go ahead and start the macro in 3, 2, 1, go. All right, we started it. I'm gonna pop mode, and now I'm gonna walk towards him and wait for him to spawn. Once he spawns, I'm gonna spawn Hollow Purple. There he is. Do Hollow Purple and just aim down below me. And then of course, if you don't have Hollow Purple, run back, and then once the attack is done, run back again towards him. But there we go, we drop down the ability. We're going to use Ghastly Fist, Reversal Red, Dismantle, basically just spam as many moves as you possibly can. Now at this point, if you have Berserker, this would be a good time to really have it, because you'll take a lot of damage. So you'll be able to do more damage. I'm going to use Rib Breaker right here, right? Just do some M1s. Now he's going to knock you back here, but the thing is, he will teleport onto you anyway, so it doesn't even matter. But just keep spamming abilities. Just keep on spamming abilities, keep M1ing. Do whatever you can to basically do damage. Ghastly Fist, Reversal Red. I'm getting kind of low, but if you guys are scared of getting low, you can put more HP into your skill tree. But yeah, there you go. As you can see, easy, just like that. Now, I recommend you guys to hit or use abilities for like 3 more seconds just to make sure he is dead on every single run, because sometimes it might be inconsistent, but we should be good there. Now, we're going to go up. We're going to spam E. We're just going to collect the chest and keep on clicking flip all in order to get all of them. Now, since they are spinning around you, I recommend you doing this even when you collect all your chests, just because, of course, you might miss it on your screen. So you want to do this like 3 or 4 more times to make sure you collected all your chests. Once you do that, we're going to go ahead and click replay. And now we're going to wait around 5 to 10 seconds even after we make it into the server. All right, so here we go. We're in the server. Now we're going to wait 5 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. and that just assures us that we are in the server. Okay, so now I'm gonna let the macro run so you guys can see that it's not a fluke for a couple of games, and yeah, I'll just be clapping in the background so you guys could hear me actually not typing on the keyboard. So that being said, let's go ahead and get started. All right, as you can see, I'm clapping. I am clapping. I am clapping. I am clapping. I am not touching my keyboard at all. Alright, so I'm gonna go ahead and end the macro right here just because I basically showed you guys it does work. I've done multiple runs, nothing broke, it's pretty efficient, and you get free loot by absolutely just doing nothing. Finger bear done. Now, what we're gonna do next is we're gonna move on to the Dagon boss, or the Sea Curse boss. Okay, so here we are in the Dagon raid boss. Now, since I already showed you guys the basics of how to make a macro, and it might be a little different for Dagon, still the same things apply to here. Spam abilities, just use moves, etc. Just kill him as quick as possible. If he does get to Domain Swarm, I recommend using him iframe move like Hollow Purple. That's why Hollow Purple is really good for macros. But if you can't get him down quick enough, have a Berserker build, have more HP, or you could do slash buff, which is what I'm gonna do in this run, because I just think I'm gonna be more consistent. So I'm just gonna do this run as efficient as possible. With that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and start my macro, pop mode, and then use slash buffs. And I'm gonna walk over to Dagon, wait for him to spawn, use Ghastly Fist, dismantle, reversal red, let's shift lock, use joyful ring, and then black flash kick, keep M1ing him, and then black flash kick, and he's dead. Just like that, really easy. Now if that didn't work, just wait a couple seconds, and I'm gonna pop Hollow Purple, aim down, it is, and that basically guarantees me a kill every single time. And what I mean by that is that sometimes he does go into domain. So now collect my chest. All right, we're collecting the chest and we're spamming flip all. We should be done right about now. Let's click replay and let's wait the 10 seconds and we should be done. Okay, and since we finished loading, I'm gonna do the same thing that we did in the finger bear, where I just leave this on for a couple of games to basically show you guys that it works. So I'll see you guys once we're done, and I'm gonna start the macro right now. And there we go. So I ended the macro a lot quicker than I thought because Santa actually spawned, and as you can see, I have a couple of chests to open as I just killed them. But that's how the macro works. Good luck to everybody making a macro. I didn't really leave a file for anybody to download just because everybody's build is different from each other, and using my macros might not work for you just because of the fact that my build might be better or my build might be worse. It really depends. So that being said, I'll see you guys later. Peace.